So, welcome to what's been called the sixth continent of the Earth, the strange world of Romney Marsh. The position of the marsh not only made it into the centre for the old smuggling trade with France, it also made it into a ringside seat for the Battle of Britain. In 1940, the sky over Romney Marsh saw the death of many German and British planes which crashed deep into the soil of the marsh. Nowadays, there are some enthusiasts are trying to retrieve some of the planes. Mr. Buchanan, tell me what kinds of things you found.
Well, we found quite a variety of items. Some we have given to us by the local residents of the marsh. And the majority of the rest of it we find the old aircraft sites and then go around with a metal detector and then eventually try and excavate all that is left of the aircraft in any particular crater. This particular money came out of a Hawker Tempest, and it came out of the standard escape kit that they used to use in those days, which had a variety of currencies. There's Dutch money, French, and I believe Italian as well, which they all used to carry in case they came down on the continent.
And this rather lovely map too.
Yes, there was a set of 4 standard maps in the same kit. That, as you can see, shows part of Spain, which was one of the main escape routes during the war, across into Spain and then back to England. But it's, for 30 or 35 years in the ground, it's amazing the preservation.
It's not paper though, is it?
It's not paper, it's a silk-based map.
That's beautiful. So when you've got all the things together, you kind of join them all up, do you, like this, and make a display of how the aircraft would actually have been?
Yes, for our museum at Brenswick, we mount all the stuff onto display boards from all these little tiny fragments we have. We mount them up so that they're recognisable for people to look at. Also, we give a full detail of the actual action that aircraft was involved and who the pilot was and all the things appertaining to that.
Well, Mr. Buchanan, thank you very much indeed for showing it to us all.
1,933 years ago, the Romans invaded Britain, and their boats landed where I'm standing now. But today, the coast is 2 miles away.
And that's the narrow bit of Romney Marsh. At its widest, it stretches 11 miles from the Kent Hills to the Channel. 11 miles of villages, sheep and frogs, sudden mists and legends of smugglers. Yet a traveller on the A259 between Rye and Folkestone would probably think the marsh just a featureless, dull plain, crossed by endless ditches. But if you slow down and look more closely, then the marsh becomes altogether a more beautiful place.
Nothing is quite so extraordinary about Romney Marsh than its ending, here on the shingle beach of Dungeness. 60 years ago, I couldn't have stood here because the sea came to where those cottages are over there. So every year another 15 to 20 feet are added to the shingle beach, and Dungeness is slowly growing eastwards.
Which is a problem for the lifeboatmen. In 1930, this was the lifeboat station. 5 years later, they built their shed, and they had to continually move that nearer to the sea. Finally, in 1966, they gave the shed up, and the lifeboat was moved again to its present slipway. But the gap between the lifeboat and the sea is still widening, and the lifeboatmen know that within 2 years, another move is inevitable. This is Dungeness's old lighthouse, and that had to be abandoned too. Not because of shingle, but because of the atomic power station which shrouded its light to the west. So Dungeness was given this, a totally automatic, computer-operated lighthouse. And there isn't oil off Dungeness. That offshore rig sucks in water, millions of gallons of water that cool the atomic reactors in Dungeness A, Britain's most successful nuclear power station. They're even building a second one, Dungeness B. But successful or not, the great mammoth-like buildings contrast strangely with Dungeness's more normal air of desolation.